Hello, everyone. It's Louise here from the Property Education Company, and I am delighted to welcome you to this Flash Friday Finance Update with our wonderful client, Wendy Stevenson. Wendy, you've had an interesting time lately getting loans sorted. So tell us, let's go back, because originally you came to us with your husband at the time and you were buying, we helped you refi and get some investment property. That's right?
Yes. So basically, you've been my and my husband's mortgage broker for quite a long time now, and we've always been thrilled and never had an issue. And I can't speak highly enough about everything that you've done for us. In fact, we now have 2 investment properties, and it's grown from there. And you've guided us along the way, and just been fantastic. And then I had unfortunately decided that it was time for my husband and I to part ways.
Fair enough.
So we
understand.
We then separated, and my husband was probably the more financially savvy of the two of us. So I therefore decided that because money was not really my specialty or an area that I had a lot of knowledge about, that I better get some advice.
Sure.
So I went off, got a financial advisor.
Yes.
Had my meeting with him, and he was really good, and I thought, that's great. And then I said, okay, I'm going to start applying for some loans. And he said, well, do you have a mortgage broker? And I said, yes. And he said, that's going to be a little bit difficult. I think you should use the one that we use because I'm more familiar with them. And then that way it'll all flow more smoothly and blah, blah, blah. And basically, I thought, okay, fair enough.
And you said that to me.
Yeah, he said...
Yeah, you were totally upfront with me and
Yeah.
said exactly that. And I said, absolutely, totally right. If that's what makes you feel comfortable, you've got to go with it,
It didn't actually make me feel comfortable. I've got to be honest. It made me feel a little uncomfortable. But at the same time, I had a bit of faith in this guy. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, well, I need the advice. And if that's who he uses, that's who he uses. And I was more concerned about getting the financial advice organised and knowing what I was doing, because that was where I had probably the least amount of knowledge. And so he seemed a bit set in his ways and with who he used. And I thought, well, I'll just roll with that and see how we go. Well, that was not a good idea. That did not work out very well for me, is the best way of me putting that. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure. To this day, I actually don't know what went wrong. But the gentleman who became my mortgage broker on the advice of this financial advisor was a lovely gentleman. He was very nice, seemed to know what he was doing. But when it came down to the crunch and the conveyancing solicitor crunched the numbers on the day of settlement, I got a phone call saying, you're $15,000 short. And I went, what? And he said, I don't mean to be rude, but I don't think your mortgage broker's quite done the right thing here by you, and I think you've got a bit of a problem. There was all sorts of rigmarole, scrambling around, chaos and whatnot, and I actually ended up having to borrow money off my ex, which of course is the last thing you really want to do when you're in that sort of a situation.
Totally
Luckily,
understand.
he was reasonable enough, and he wanted to impress the conveyancing solicitor enough that he agreed to do it. Right. So they managed to get settlement to occur, and it went through, but it was only because I had a really good conveyancing solicitor, and because he'd convinced my husband to basically tide me over with some money to get this settlement done. So it was a complete and utter cluster, you know what? Yes. Yeah. So stuff.
And the problem was in divorce settlements and any separation of family law matters, you have to be very precise in the contracts, what's come back from the family court on how you write the loans.
That's exactly right.
That's what he'd missed. And we were doing the other side, which was your ex-husband's. And so we knew what was correct. And we felt for you terribly because we understood why you'd gone where you'd gone, but it was really unfortunate they hadn't done the right thing by you. And so it made a bit of a mess. So you then screamed down the phone at me and said, hey, help me get back.
That's right. That's right. And couldn't have been easier, and, so I rang, you said, put me onto somebody. I spoke to them for, 10 minutes, and basically my whole world was turned around, and I was on the path to getting it all fixed within a matter of 10 minutes. Yes, it did take some time for the bank to approve the loan, but in the end, it was very quick in all things considered. And I was back to what I should have been if this gentleman had done his job properly, and sorted and done and been the mortgage broker that I'd hoped he was going to be. Needless to say, I'm still not with that financial advisor either. So,
so a bit of a shame.
That's right. But nevertheless, it was, my intentions and what I thought I was doing was being a responsible person, because I wasn't, but it just was an unfortunate situation that I got bad advice. It didn't help. It made a big mess of things. But thank goodness I could get on the phone to you and say, look, I don't know what to say here, except that please take me back, because I've made a shocking mistake by leaving you, and I need to come back and join your group again, because I've never had anything like, never had a moment's problem prior, and I've never had a moment's problem since.
Well, what I was glad with my team, you worked with Caitlin, one of our top.
Thank you for reminding me. Yes, it was Caitlin. And Caitlin's and yourself, you explain things in a way that makes, because as I said, it's not, finance is not my thing.
I think you underestimate yourself, myself. I think you're pretty good.
Well, still, I understand what's happening when I talk to you guys, whereas a lot of the times I was just, I was hearing numbers from these other guys that I, were trying to use. And I'm like, no, I don't quite get that. But you seem to know I had faith that they knew what they were talking about, but I never fully understood what was going on. And the reason why was probably also because it wasn't actually right. So nevertheless, came back with you guys, you got it all sorted, and my life is now back on track. Or I was able to pay off the people, because I'd borrowed some money from other people as well, just to tide me over, because, for this, that, and the other, not with the slightest bit of concern that I would have any problems paying it back. No, and then suddenly I was like, what am I going to do now? I can't even, I already now am backwards, not forwards. I've gone backwards in this situation, not forwards. So it was really terrifying, actually. And it was not fun.
I feel for you terribly, because it is scary when you don't know where your money's going or come to.
That's right.
And then you're shortchanged on it. And in this process, you were refinancing and purchasing at the same time.
That's correct. So it was pretty complex. Well, for me anyway. But yeah, so I was.
I was pleased the way we were able to help you get the loan, so your investment loan could be back to interest only, which is what you wanted.
Absolutely. Yes, and that was what I was used to, and that makes sense to me. And when it was explained to me, and I've got all my offset accounts set up again the way they were, and I've got a system that works, that's easy, that I'm familiar with. And if I have any problems, I can always ring you or Caitlin and say, look, I'm just a bit confused. Why, why is this and why is that? So,
we are so grateful that you were great. I'm so glad you felt comfortable enough coming back to us.
No, I didn't even hesitate. And I thought, I don't care if I have to grovel, and I don't care. I mean, I knew that you realised why I'd
I already knew, because you were up front with me. So I
exactly
to you.
That's right.
And we love looking after you, obviously.
Yeah.
But pleased to explain things, because that's what we love doing, making it easy for you and making it explained,
Yeah.
And any time you need that information, just hit us up.
You can absolutely rest assured I'm with you for life now.
Hey, that's a great.
I couldn't be more grateful to you and Caitlin, because it really, it's life changing when suddenly you're in a situation where you do not know what's gone wrong. Your money situation is confusing. You don't understand what's happened. You're dealing with new people who you put your trust in. They have failed you, and then basically you and Caitlin came to the rescue, and you sorted it out for me within, a matter of 10 minutes, half an hour. And then, we just had to wait another week or so for the banking process to go through. And then, Caitlin was back on the phone saying, and this is what we're doing now, and this is how you've got it. And, and it was all explained. It all made sense. And I felt like I was back in control of things. So,
so good to hear. I'm delighted. And look at your beautiful new home. I'm very impressed. I'm jealous.
Yes, it's a nice place. Yeah, I'm pleased with it. So
well done to you. So congratulations, Wendy, and moving forward in a great new way. So well done.
Well, thank you. And please thank Caitlin on my behalf as well, because yes, I'm most appreciative of everything you've done for me, because it was a rocky road there for a while, and you guys were my saving grace, let me tell you. So
well, I'm
that
thrilled
was
to
great.
hear it. That's what we love doing, helping people, because it makes our life better,
Yeah.
as
Thank
well
you.
as yours. So
And
good.
also, as you know, I've referred people on, because I mean, my sister who's with you, she's, what were you thinking, Wendy? And I went, well, I don't know. Okay. I got convinced by somebody that I was doing the right thing. And she said, why on earth would you ever, this is fabulous. Please don't. So yes.
That was
So I had many people telling me that I had, not made a wise choice there. So
we'll go you. Well, thanks again.
So I won't be doing that again.
Oh, great. Well, we love that. Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me your time today. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
Story, because there's lots of people out there who may be in a similar circumstance.
That's right.
They need to know some of the nuances.
Absolutely.
Involved,
and least I can do, more than happy. You're not paying me for this, obviously, because I could not. I actually said to you, please, if you want me to do, any sort of a video or any recommendation or anything like that, I'm more than happy to, because it just made such a huge difference for me. So, yeah, I couldn't recommend you guys more highly. So thank you once again.
Oh, thank you. It's wonderful. Thanks very much.
No worries. See you later.